John Pork lore just got even crazier. After seeing how well the first video performed, it was only right to continue updating the lore. Even though there's people saying I got it wrong. But anyways, let's begin because there's a lot to discuss. To start off, I guess I should say that I was wrong. You guys ended up being right. Simon Claw is indeed king. Now, this changes a few parts of the lore, but nothing major. In fact, all it does is reveal more about John Pork's childhood and his relationship with Tim Cheese. So, let's rewind a little. John, Simon, and Tim used to be friends as kids. They had an unbreakable bond. At least that's what they thought. John rose to fame and left the slums that he and his closest friends once lived in. He left everything behind. His acquaintances, and most importantly, his past identity. Up until now, it wasn't really clear who John Pork truly was, but now we have our answer. Now, picking up from where we left off, John Pork is confirmed to be alive, but his whereabouts are unknown. More importantly, however, an old friend is about to make his reappearance. Agent 5.5, who is currently operating on his private island, calls Pangu and says that Operation Cheese is about to commence. However, the call breaks up and Tim Cheese leaves a message. He's kidnapped Pangu's wife Polly and is holding her for ransom. Pangu has 24 hours to respond. Tim begins forming a team of his own, the first member being Simon Claw, who's been imprisoned in a maximum facility center after being accused of something he never did. Tim reunites with Simon as they catch up on everything. It becomes clear that they share the same motives. After all, they were inseparable at one point in time. Tim even says himself that Simon is the only person he considers a friend. But things are different now. They have their eyes set on a bigger prize, literally. The two make their way to the pig's den and proceed to cause havoc. After wiping out the entire den, only one remains, the boss, also known as Bob Bacon. Meanwhile, Agent 5.5 begins to conduct his own team after losing signal with Pangu. He introduces a friend of his, Special Agent 5.6, as they both begin to discuss allies. What he doesn't know, however, is that Tim is not completely done with him. On the other hand, we learn more about Simon's twisted outlook on the world. He reveals that he's not after the cops that locked him up, but the man behind it all. Bob Bacon. Bob was the reason the two turned out the way they did. You could even say he was responsible for his cousin's supposed death. Marvin Beak has gone incognito, sending messages from the shadows. Perhaps it's because he's outnumbered and is aware that Simon Claw is a threat. Tim Cheese kidnaps Agent 5.5 again, but this time it's not as successful. Pangu, Marvin Beak, and Bob Bacon quickly catch on and arrive at the island with the Pork Mafia. Simon single-handedly destroys them, but Marvin Beak uses this as a chance to kill Tim Cheese. As he confronts Tim alone and points the gun at his forehead, believing he's about to avenge his best friend, Simon Claw appears behind him and takes the shot. Simon then makes a demand to Bob Bacon, commanding him to bring Pangu and his wife, or else he'll leave Marvin to bleed out. Bob complies and gives up the two to save Marvin Beak, who is a close ally of his. Simon wants Pangu to feel the utmost amount of pain, so instead of killing him right then and there, he takes the life of his precious wife. Pangu, shattered, cries down in desperation, hoping somebody will come save him, but it's already too late. Simon has completely lost touch with reality, and he even says it himself.
Now I can't remember if I'm hunting monsters or if I've become one.
So that is all the updated lore we have. Simon is undoubtedly the strongest character in the lore right now. Even I can't predict where the story's gonna go. Now, the reason I did make an update sooner was because I didn't want to just post about every little piece of the lore that was coming out. I feel like that was just overdoing it, but from now on, I'll try to regularly update. Now, the only thing is, I just don't really see how much longer this lore can go on for, unless they just start dragging it, but we'll see, I guess. Anyways, if you're new here, which I know a lot of you are, make sure to check out my other videos, and let me know what else you want to see on the channel.